Prince Harry's children decision lambasted by Hartley-Brewer. It's a doomsday cult. Prince Harry's comments that he and his wife Meghan Markle only intend to have 2 children at the most for the sake of saving the planet were lambasted by TalkRADIO host Julia Hartley-Brewer. Miss Hartley-Brewer commented on Prince Harry's revelation that as she interviewed Green Party peer Baroness Jenny Jones on her radio show, the radio host questioned the evidence behind Harry and Meghan Markle's concerns. The planet will no longer be able to sustain its increasing population. She asked, in what way do we think there is any evidence to claim that this planet can't sustain the population we've got right now, or indeed a bigger population, predictions of hitting 9 or 10 billion before it plateaus out in the next, say, 50 years? What evidence is there that we can't sustain this planet and its population? She added, I can't imagine what it must be like to go through life basically as part of doomsday cult, thinking the world is in a much terrible state or position. I understand being concerned about renewable energy and replacing fossil fuels and clean the air and polluting the sea and all that. Absolutely, that it makes sense to me, but I find this idea that this view that human beings are effectively parasites on the planet, I find it such a depressing thought. I'm really glad that I have a much more positive view of life. The Duke of Sussex revealed he's hoping to have another child after his firstborn son Archie Harrison in a British Vogue interview with ethologist Dr. Jane Goodall. He said, weirdly, because of the people that I've met and the places that I've been fortunate enough to go to, I've always had a connection and a love for nature. I view it differently now, without question, but I've always wanted to try and ensure that even before having a child and hoping to have children, as Dr. Goodall worried about the worldwide population growth, she warned Harry not to have too many babies. Prince Harry replied, 2 maximum. He added, but I've always thought this place is borrowed, and surely being as intelligent as we are, or as evolved as we are supposed to be, we should be able to leave something better behind for the next generation. Meghan Markle's bombshell, how Piers Morgan missed key detail about Vogue issue. Meghan Markle has guest edited the latest issue of Vogue. However, her detractors have missed a key detail that points to Duchess' true character. According to a journalist, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry recently welcomed their new royal baby Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor into the royal family. However, unbeknown to the rest of the world until recently, while the Duchess of Sussex was pregnant, she was working on a guest editing the September issue of Vogue magazine. The issue of Vogue magazine does not feature the Duchess of Sussex on the cover and instead places a mirror in the middle of the paper to reflect the reader alongside the panoply of the influential women including Jensina Arden and Jamila Jamil. In a piece for The Times, Vogue editor-in-chief Edward Enninful revealed that Meghan was never truly interested in featuring on the magazine's cover in the traditional sense. Speaking to Helen Rumblow, he claimed that Vogue had something sketched out and bosses were leaning towards a cover photo shoot to promote one of Meghan's favorite charities. Then, according to Meghan's own account, that feature in the magazine, she sent Mr. Enninful a text that changed everything. She claims that she typed and deleted the question several times until building up the courage to ask for what she really wanted. The text reportedly said, instead of doing the cover, would you be open to me guest editing your September issue? As Miss Rumblow notes, Meghan was giving herself the editorial voice that other royal women, such as the Duchess of Cambridge, have chosen not to exercise. The move was met with open arms by Mr. Enninful, who described it as a no-brainer and claims that Duchess of Sussex sees the world like an editor. However, Piers Morgan, writing in the Daily Mail, has blasted the Duchess' effort, calling the issue elitist and publicity-seeking. Despite his claims, Miss Rumblow may have pointed out a key detail that Morgan missed, writing in the Times to magazine, yesterday, she notes the critical forces arrayed against Meghan, Piers Morgan, etc., all have been focusing on the cover, have been missing what I think is probably the item in the magazine that is the most revealing of character. It was her idea to include a poem she loved by Matt Haig. It's called A Note from the Beach. Vogue editor Edward Enninful said she wanted it as a moment of serenity in an issue heavy with passion. In it, Haig imagines the beach advising the humans on it to ignore critical voices. "Why don't you do as I do," says the beach. "Let it wash all over you." Speaking about the Vogue project, Meghan said these last 7 months have been a rewarding process, curating and collaborating with Edward Enninful, British Vogue's editor-in-chief, to make the year's most read fashion issue and steer its focus to the values, causes and people making impact in the world today. Through this lens, I hope you will feel the strength of the collective in the diverse selection of women chosen for the cover, as well as the team of support I call upon within the issue to help bring this to light. I hope readers feel as inspired as I do by the forces for change they will find within these pages. Matt Haig is a British novelist, and the poem comes from his 2018 book Notes on a Nervous Planet. Piers Morgan, meanwhile, used to be a friend of Meghan's, but has recently taken to outspoken criticism of the Duchess. In February, he rallied against Meghan's gesture of writing messages on bananas in support of sex workers. At the time, royal expert Angela Mollard commented, "Now, the moment that Meghan met Harry, she dropped Piers, and he's obviously hurting about that. Every single time makes a comment about her is negative. I think it's sour grapes on his part." I think it shows good judgment on her part, because she did drop him knowing that he lacked integrity. Kate Middleton, meanwhile, was on the front cover of Vogue's June 2016 edition, but unlike Meghan, she didn't guest edit it. Her appearance on the magazine cover was to mark the National Portrait Gallery's Vogue exhibition for its centenary edition. Kate wore a striking green fedora hat, crisp white shirt and brown leather jacket in the front cover photo. The Duchess of Cambridge also appeared in a 10-page shoot within the June 2016 issue, the first magazine shoot she ever consented to.